Hello students, here we are with our fourth session on chemical thermodynamics. In the first three sessions we saw some basic concepts in thermodynamic processes, properties of thermodynamic and expression for work done. Now let us see work done in a chemical reaction. Work done in chemical reaction is given by same expression, that is pressure volume type of work. It is given as W is minus P external delta V. Now in this particular expression assume external pressure is equal to pressure of gas, that is P external is equal to P. What we can write is W is equal to minus P delta V. So we replace P external by pressure of gas. Then we have minus P. Just simplify the term delta V, that becomes V2 minus V1, as it is change in volume, that is volume of product minus volume of reactant. V2 stands for volume of product and V1 stands for volume of reactant. So we have minus PV2 plus PV1 after removing the bracket. Now here apply ideal gas equation. Ideal gas equation is PV is equal to nRT. Now for reactant we can write PV1 is equal to N1RT, and for product it becomes PV2 is equal to N2RT. So just substitute the value of PV1 and PV2 in this work expression. So at constant temperature and pressure we have W is equal to minus N2RT plus N1RT. Just take out RT common, so it becomes minus N2 inside the bracket minus N1 into RT. That becomes delta Ng. N2 minus N1 is change in number of moles, that is delta Ng RT. So this is the expression for work done in a chemical reaction. Now if N2 is greater than N1, then that is number of moles of product are more than number of moles of reactant, then delta Ng is negative and work done is also negative. Means it is a work of expansion and work is done by system on surrounding. In the second case, if N1 is greater than N2, then delta Ng is positive, work is also positive, and that work is done on the system by surrounding. It is known as work of compression. And the last condition, when N1 is equal to N2, work is 0, no work is done by the system. Now the new term we have, that is enthalpy. It is denoted by letter H. Now enthalpy is what? Enthalpy of system is sum of internal energy of a system and the energy equivalent to pressure volume type of work, PV type of work. So mathematically enthalpy is given as H is equal to U plus PV. H here it is enthalpy, U is internal energy and PV is a pressure volume type of work. So enthalpy is actually sum of internal energy plus energy equivalent to pressure volume type of work. Now what is change in enthalpy? It is represented as delta H. Delta H is H2 minus H1. Now delta H is a state function. All of us knows what is state function, which depends on initial and final state of system. So delta H is also a state function. Now we can go for change in enthalpy, that is substitute the value of H2 and H1. That is H2 is enthalpy of final state and H1 is enthalpy of initial state. How we can write H2 and H1? H1 is U1 plus P1 V1 and H2 is U2 plus P2 V2. So delta H is U2 plus P2 V2 minus U1 plus P1 V1. After substitution we'll get. So just take out similar terms together, it becomes U2 minus U1 plus P1 P2 V2 minus P1 V1. Now U2 minus U1 is actually change in internal energy, and same is there for PV. It becomes delta PV. Now here it is consider that constant pressure. For constant pressure P1 is equal to P2 is equal to P. That is pressure of initial and final state remains same. So we can write P common. So it becomes now delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V. if pressure inside and outside is same, that is P external is equal to P, that isobaric process. Now in isobaric process, when we apply to first law of thermodynamics, what expression we have is QP is equal to delta U plus P delta V. This is when isobaric process for first law of thermodynamics. And for change in enthalpy, we have delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V. So just compare these two, equation 1 and 2. What we can write is, see, both the side RHS is same, right hand side RHS is same, so we can say delta H is equal to QP, that is heat at constant pressure. Now relationship between delta H and delta U for chemical reaction. Delta H is change in enthalpy and delta U is change in internal energy. How they relate for a chemical reaction? So here it is. Again we have change in enthalpy expression, that is delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V. Now for reactions which involve solids and liquids, in case of solid and liquid, delta V usually is very small, that is volume, the term volume. In case of solid and liquid it is very small. In case of liquid, in solid we are not considering volume. So solid or liquid do not show volume change with change of pressure. So in both the cases we can write directly delta H is equal to delta U by neglecting term delta P delta V. For reactions which involves now gases, delta V we cannot neglect. So in that case delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V. That is expression for change in enthalpy. Just simplify the term delta V, that is delta U plus P V2 minus V1, that is volume of initial state minus volume of final state. So delta H is equal to delta U plus PV2 minus PV1, as we saw earlier also. Here V1 is volume of gas phase reactant and V2 is volume of gaseous product. Now again in the same manner apply ideal gas equation, which is PV is equal to nRT, and for gaseous reactant it is PV1 is equal to N1RT and PV2 is equal to N2RT, where N1 is number of moles of gaseous reactant and N2 is number of moles of gaseous product. So substitute this equation 4.3 in equation 4.2. So what we'll have is delta H is equal to delta U plus N2RT minus N1RT. Just we can take out RT common, so it becomes delta U plus N2 minus N1 into RT. Now N2 minus N1 is delta Ng, which is similar in the expression for work done in chemical reaction. So this is the expression, or we can say relation between delta H and delta U for chemical reaction. Here delta Ng is difference between number of moles of product and those of reactant. Now we'll see enthalpies of physical transformations. Now physical transformations, we have two types of transformations in here it is in this chapter, that is first is enthalpy of phase transition and second enthalpy for atomic or molecular change. Now phase transition, all of us know student, phase is from conversion of solid state to liquid state, liquid to gaseous state. These all change of state from one state to another state, that is known as phase transition. And enthalpy change or energy change associated with this phase transition is known as enthalpy of phase transition. Now here we have three types of phase transitions. Very first is enthalpy of fusion, second enthalpy of vaporization, and third is enthalpy of sublimation. We'll see in detail further. Then second is enthalpy for atomic or molecular change. Now atomic and molecular changes, atoms, they come together to form molecule they break down to form atom. So this type of changes, during this type of changes, whatever enthalpy change associated, that is known as enthalpy for atomic or molecular change. Here again we have three types of enthalpies: enthalpy of ionization, enthalpy of atomization, and enthalpy of solution. Now let us see first enthalpy of fusion. Enthalpy of fusion, see, it is denoted by delta H and in between we have a subscript fuse, FUS. So always we must denote it like this only, delta H fuse. Enthalpy change that occur when 1 mole of a solid is converted into liquid without change in temperature at constant pressure is enthalpy of fusion. So here in fusion, solid is converted into liquid, and enthalpy change during that conversion, when 1 mole of solid is converted into its liquid state, then we must say it is enthalpy of fusion, and this particular takes place at constant pressure without change in temperature. Always keep in mind, student, this term 1 mole is very important, because when the change occurs with 1 mole of substance, we can consider it as enthalpy of that particular process. So enthalpy of fusion is what? Again, it is enthalpy change that occurs when 1 mole of a solid is converted into liquid without change in temperature at constant pressure, is called enthalpy of fusion. Now here we have example, that is conversion of H2O solid to H2O liquid, that is ice is converted into liquid water, and delta H fuse, that is enthalpy of fusion, is given. It is plus 6.01 kilojoule per mole at 0 degree Celsius. Now enthalpy of vaporization, it is denoted by delta H vap. It is denoted as delta H vap. A subscript vap is written over there between delta and H. Again, see, definition remains same, only now the term vaporization is explained. It is enthalpy change accompanying the vaporization of 1 mole of liquid without changing its temperature at constant pressure. So the last part remains same, without changing its temperature at constant pressure. Only the thing is the enthalpy change accompanying vaporization of liquid. How much liquid? It should be 1 mole without changing its temperature at constant pressure. That is known as enthalpy of vaporization. An example here, it is, we have two examples that is same at different temperatures, that conversion of liquid water to water vapors. At 100 degrees Celsius, enthalpy of vaporization is plus 40 kilojoule per mole, and at 25 degrees Celsius, that enthalpy of vaporization is plus 44 kilojoule per mole. Now the third, that is enthalpy of sublimation. Enthalpy of sublimation is denoted as delta H sub. Enthalpy of sublimation is, it is the enthalpy change for the conversion of 1 mole of solid directly into vapor at constant temperature and pressure. So here there is slight change. This particular takes place at constant temperature and pressure. Sublimation is conversion of solid directly into its vapor state. Now here there is no conversion of solid to liquid. Solid is directly converted into its vapor state. So enthalpy of sublimation is, it is enthalpy change for the conversion of 1 mole of solid directly into vapor at constant temperature and pressure. See, there is slight difference here in enthalpy, two enthalpies which we saw earlier. In fusion and vaporization, it is without change in temperature at constant pressure, but here we have at constant temperature and pressure. So keep in mind the difference. Now example is H2O solid, that is ice is converted into gaseous or water vapors, and delta H sublimation is 51.08 kilojoule per mole at 0 degrees Celsius. Now just saw there all the three enthalpies are related, because see, if we'll see the processes, fusion is conversion of solid to liquid, vaporization is conversion of liquid to gas, and sublimation is conversion of solid directly into gaseous state. So all three enthalpies are related to each other, that is delta H of sublimation is actually equals to delta H of fusion plus delta H of vaporization. You just refer to this chemical reactions and respective enthalpies. We can get that actually sum of enthalpies of fusion and enthalpies of vaporization is enthalpy of sublimation. Now enthalpy for molecular change. Very first is enthalpy of ionization. Now ionization is what? Ionization is formation of ion. Ion, how it forms? By loss or gain of electron. So it is the enthalpy change accompanying the removal of an electron from 1 mole of gaseous atom. See, again here we have term 1 mole, so it is very important. So enthalpy of ionization is what? It is denoted by letter delta H, ion. A subscript ion is put between delta and H. It is the enthalpy change accompanying the removal of an electron from 1 mole of gaseous atom. Now when we remove an electron, there is formation of cation. When we add an electron, there is formation of anion. So we have an example of formation of cation. A simplest example, that is sodium metal, gaseous sodium. On loss of 1 electron, it forms Na plus ion, and delta H for ionization is 494 kilojoule per mole. Now enthalpy of atomization. It is denoted by letter delta H, atom. So a subscript atom is there between delta and H. What is the enthalpy of atomization? Atomization is a process in which molecule dissociate or substance dissociate into its atoms. So enthalpy of atomization is enthalpy change accompanying the dissociation of 1 mole of gaseous substance into atoms is enthalpy of atomization. So gaseous substance dissociate to forms atoms, and when it is 1 mole of gaseous substance, that is known as enthalpy of atomization. Here we have example of chlorine gas, which undergoes atomization to form 2 chlorine atoms, and delta H of atomization is 242 kilojoule per mole. You have one more example, that is atomization of methane gas, that gives you carbon and hydrogen, and enthalpy of atomization is 1660 kilojoule per mole. And then we have last, that is enthalpy of solution. Now delta H solution, it is given or denoted by delta H solution. Enthalpy of solution is enthalpy change in a process when 1 mole of substance is dissolved in specified amount of solvent. So when we got solution, when we dissolve solute in a solvent, so that is known as solution formation. So enthalpy of solution is when enthalpy change in a process when 1 mole of substance is dissolved in a specified amount of solvent, that is known as enthalpy of solution. Here we have example of formation of NaCl aqueous solution, that is sodium chloride or common salt is dissolved in water, that gives a NaCl aqueous, and delta H solution is 4 kilojoule per mole. So here we end with today's session. Student, keep in mind these all enthalpy definitions are very important from the exam point of view, so just refer to it very carefully.